touch me from this band. I'm a great big son. A great big son.
All right.
She's my brother, you're my sister. My peace and my Lord. Yeah.
Hello, everybody. Okay, let me fix this. Wait. As you can see, I'm a bit OCD. By the way, OCD is a diagnosis and people use it like I just did, which we shouldn't. All right, wait, let me check. Everything's fine. Great, everything looks good. Hello and welcome, everybody. I'm excited for today. We're gonna talk all about time. I don't want to say we're gonna talk about time management. We're gonna talk about time. Because what I want to talk to you about is more than tips and tools and things you could do to manage your time. We're going to talk about that, but it's more about also shifting our mindset and connecting with how we feel and talk about time, which is so important. And I would say, if that's something you focus on, it's as important as understanding tips and tools on how to manage your time. Have some good music in the background. All right. I'm having my lemon water. It's still 10 a.m. here. I don't know where you guys are. If you're here, say hello. Tell me where you are in the world. Oh, I've had a long weekend. It was a beautiful weekend, and yesterday I went out again on a Monday, which is not usual for me, so I'm a little tired and I'm waking up still. But I'm here. All right, you guys, let's get right into it. I hope you're all doing great. Thanks for tuning in. And yes, today we're going to talk about time and how we can kind of use time and create time and be empowered with time and not feel like, time is something that we're always worried about. All right, I have my notes. So my invitation for today is that you have a pen and paper or you have a journal next to you so that you are reflecting on some of these things, on what time means to you, how time impacts you in your life. Because let's start with this, is that we all have 24 hours. Let's agree with that, right? There are no people who have more time than others. Really, we all have 24 hours. It's just how we choose to use those 24 hours is different. And this is where we can empower ourselves, right? How we choose to use those 24 hours, right? So number one, I want you to think about is how do you feel about time, right? And how do you talk about time? Are you someone who's always saying things like, I don't have enough time, time is too short, this went by so fast, this weekend was so fast, this year is just so fast, I have time for nothing, I don't have time for myself. Just writing some of these things that you're repeating to yourself, okay? Because that automatically allows you to understand what's happening, understand a bit what's happening. Because even how we perceive time goes back to our childhood, believe it or not. We're here, I'm a hypnotherapist. I'm all about mindset and the mind. And that's why I'm going to link everything, all my talks to the mind. And even when we talk about time, it's linked to what did you learn in your childhood about time? When you think of your parents, were they always in a rush? Were they always busy? And there's not enough time, right? Was it that kind of language, right, that was being used? Or was it more of a slow, everything's good, we're in control, there's no rush, right? Because what we learn from our childhood about how to perceive time, how to use time, how to feel about time. Oh, I'm so stressed, I have to be there, I'm late. Like how to feel about it. Or, oh my God, I'm not in the mood, maybe I'll do it later. Always procrastinating or always pushing things for the next day. How we feel and how we act with time is very much one of the things is linked to how we were brought up to learn, talk, think, feel about time. Okay? And each cultures, societies, families have certain phrases, you know. There's not enough time, or there's one in Arabic which I'll translate in English, which says, it's a good one, it's a positive one that says, you know, don't postpone today's work till tomorrow. Isn't that in English too? But in Arabic it sounds beautiful, right? But there's always this kind of sayings that we often say that get programmed and embedded in our minds. So for me, it's always, don't postpone till tomorrow, do it today. Don't postpone till tomorrow, do it today. That's a powerful one that's really programmed in my mind. So on and so forth. Okay, so how do you feel about time? How do you talk about time? Right now in your life, how are you managing your time? What feels good? What doesn't feel good? Journaling about this, since last week we talked about journaling, is your first step, I would say. All right? And then the number one thing I want to talk about here is that time is abundant, right? We have time. Time is there. Time is available. Time is in our hands to change, to create, to use in however we want to use, however we want, right? It is not something that is totally managed by the world and the system, and there's a certain structure to it. This structure is what you create. This 9 to 5, it's what you create. What happens after 5 is what you create. What happens before 9 is what you create. What happens over lunch break is what you create. You create what is happening. You are the master. You are the creator. You are the manager of the time. So starting when you feel that, I'm like, okay, I can manage this. You know, I am about to create this. It's just a great shift. I could speak a lot. Oh God. All right, so let's talk a bit about a few tips. I don't know how many I have here, but they're all linked to a mix of mindset and a mix of tools. And number one I have on the list is to infuse your day with space by simply breathing. I know this sounds very basic, but when we are always rushing, when we are always just like, there's no space. We feel that it's so stuffed and it's so stressful in a way. But when we pause, even if it's for 5 minutes or 2 minutes before new tasks, to breathe deeply, you feel expansive. You feel like, do it now. You automatically feel the sense of empowerment and the sense of space, and the time has expanded. Deep belly breathing, abdominal breathing in the belly. Inhale, expand the belly. Exhale, relax the belly. Triggers the parasympathetic nervous system, which is the rest and recover. And within 2 to 3 minutes, you're able to trigger this parasympathetic nervous system and tell your body and tell your mind that, hey, you can slow down even if it's a fast, rushed day. Even if I have 100 things to do, slow down. Slow down. That's my number one. Slow down using breath, okay? Slowing down gives you a feeling of calmness, that even if you have a million things to do on your list, you're able to be in control and you're able to rise above the, I don't have time, and you feel like, this is what I'm going to do next. I'm connected to my strength, to my intuition. I'm empowered and I'm going to do it. Breathe. Number one, which is a lot about what we spoke today, in the beginning, which is change the way you talk about time, right? Catch yourself. Why am I always repeating those words? I don't have time, I'm stressed, I'm rushed, oh my God, I have a million things to do. This to-do list is never ending. This will never end. All of these things are very negative and they put you in a feeling of stress and overwhelm, which could move you into a fight or flight or freeze. That's why procrastination happens, because many people get overwhelmed because they're looking at a big to-do list and then they say to themselves these things like, I have so much to do, there is no time, this is impossible. All of these negative things that create stress, anxiety, that trigger the sympathetic nervous system and triggers the fight or flight or freeze. And most often we tend to freeze and we feel like I'm not going to do anything on this to-do list, right? So, but if you simply change the way you're talking about time, it could shift this whole pattern, all right? So that when I look at my to-do list or whatever, my day, instead of saying all of these things, oh my God, this is impossible, this is a lot, I don't have time for myself today, I'm going to step back and I'm going to say, I have choices to make today. And although there might be a lot on the to-do list, I can make choices of what to prioritize and what to not prioritize. I am empowered over my time. I can create time. I can shift things around, right? To prioritize what is my values for the day, what is my goal. And let go and delegate and ask for support where I need to. Did you feel this shift in energy by me just using those words? So, extremely important is paying attention to how you talk and think in a moment when you are preparing your list for the day or the things that need to be done. And this is not only work related, it could be personal life, right? Again, I don't have time for myself, these things. You could always say, today I don't have a whole hour to spend on my yoga. This morning I woke up and I felt like, oh God, I just want to sleep a bit more. So I slept in. And then I gave myself 10 minutes for my breathing instead of a whole hour of yoga. So I shifted things around, but I created time. So some things you could say, I create time. I have as much time as I need, right? I can shift things around and prioritize. I have the skills and tools to manage my time in a healthy and productive way. I remind myself to breathe so that time and space expand. How beautiful. These statements empower you so that you don't feel like you're a victim, but you become a victor and you live in victory in your schedule. Number 3, and these are some things you could do, right? This is an exercise you could do. I love this one. I really invite you to do it, is to spend a day where you write down, or you could think about the day before, every single thing that you did on that day. And that includes showering, self-care, going for a walk, cooking, working, all the tasks. If you're really focused on your job right now in terms of time management, all the tasks that you have to do at work, write down everything that you actually did. Just by watching this list, you will gain a lot of insight into where you're putting your time, where you're putting your energy and focus. Even time on social media is something you would write down. And then the next step, you would write down the top 5 things that you care most about right now. The top 5 things in your life that are the most priority. It could be 3 as well, if 5 is too much. 3 to 5 things. And then compare the list of what have you done in your day to those top 5 things that you have as a priority. And notice, am I focusing on those top 5 things, or am I just doing haphazard things right, left, and center? This is a really cool exercise that you could do. All right. All right, now let's talk a bit about procrastination and some tips that can help you just focus on productivity. So number 1 of our talk was really all about focus on changing how you talk about time, how you think about time. Time is abundant, time is available. You can create time for yourself, for your life, for your hobbies, for your job. You have as much time to create and to move things around and to be in control. You are the creator here. Change how you talk about it, and then become aware of how you spend your time currently without judgment. Write a list of all of the things you do. You can do it actively, as in spend the day, and whenever you do something, you write down that I spent half an hour doing this. Become aware of how you're spending your time, and then compare it to your 5 top priorities in life right now. All right. Now, why does procrastination happen, guys? So I'm going to have a sip of my lemon water. If you have any questions, by the way, just throw them in. Procrastination, which is when you just freeze, basically. When you just feel like, I'm not going to do anything. Oh my God, I have this thing that I have to do, and I'm not going to do it, or haven't done it for a whole week. First of all, those words of I have to do this, I have no option, are again negative words regarding time. You don't have to do anything. You are an adult. You can choose. You can say no, even if it's to your boss. Okay? The have to and I must and I have no option is very negative, and it automatically puts you in a feeling of stress, anxiety, where you freeze and end up procrastinating. Whereas you say, I get to do this. I chose this job because of whatever. It brings me money, safety, stability. And I'm blessed that I get to do this. Such a different language. I get to do this. I'm able to do this. I am blessed to be able to do this. You know, it's not maybe my favorite thing to be doing today, but you know, I get to do this and grow and learn something new, whatever that is, right? Shifting the language about the things that make you feel like it's a burden. Shifting the language. If it's a burden, then you should really think, do I need to delegate this? Do I need to give it to someone? Do I need to hire someone to do this for me, right? But it shouldn't feel like a burden, and you should change the language about things that you're doing. You get to do things. You choose to do things. You don't have to do things. All right, so we procrastinate because of a feeling or an emotion, not because we don't have time. Right? No one procrastinates because they don't have time. They procrastinate because you're either overwhelmed, you have too much on your list, you feel stressed, anxiety that puts you into a freeze state, or you feel fear. Especially for entrepreneurs, or if you're starting something that is new, like I want to go to the gym, right? Maybe next week, right? If it's something that's new that you need to do, you keep procrastinating. It's not because you don't have time to go to the gym or to do this task or to whatever, or the hobby or the job to-do list. It's because you either have fear, which is a fear of failing. What if I meet someone and they judge me? What if I'm shamed? What if I lose? What if, okay? There is fear of failing or fear of succeeding, by the way. Oh, if I succeed, does it mean I have to keep doing this? Does it mean I have to change my priorities? Does it mean I have to keep putting effort into this? So it could be fear of failing, fear of succeeding that is stopping you from taking action. It could be overwhelm, stress, and anxiety. So let's tackle these things a bit. You need to know. I don't know what you're passing through. You can write in the comments and I'm happy to guide you. But depending on what you are experiencing, you have to ask yourself, why am I procrastinating? Why is this something that I'm not able to sit and do and focus on? Is it because I'm scared? Am I scared of failing or judgment or 1, 2, 3? Or is it because I just have too much on my list? Now, if it's fear, then that is, a whole different topic, which we have also addressed in the past. You can go back to some older videos on fear. But really, a key thing is to rise above the fear and realize that fear will be there and that it is up to you to either allow fear to stop you or use the fear as fire to keep going. You say, you know what? I am scared. There is fear, but I want to do this, right? Because I get to do this, because I love it. It's going to help me. I'm going to grow. Remind yourself of the all amazing things that's going to happen and go through it. That's if it's fear. Now, if it's overwhelm because you have too much on your to-do list, here's a very important tip that I use. I use it every day. I don't have a to-do list. I stopped creating to-do list over a year ago. I have no clue. Like, if you tell me what's on your to-do list, I don't know. I don't have a to-do list. What I have is blocked tasks in my calendar. Okay, so for today, let's say I want to create some content. So I don't just write it on my to-do list because I'm going to have 100 things to do and that's going to overwhelm and stress me. However, if I know that this week I want to create content, right, to share, so I'm going to block time in my calendar, right, today afternoon for an hour and a half or whatever it is, where I'm going to create content. Great. This is blocked. It's done. While I also know that this week there's one important thing. I should do some accounting and business stuff, business accounting stuff that I need to get out of the way. That's something that I kind of have to do it. I have no option to do it, but I get to do it because I run my own business and that's such a blessing. Right? So I'm going to block time in my calendar on Friday for accounting. So when you block time, it makes it much more relaxing to know that I don't need to worry today about what I'm going to do on Friday. It's already blocked. Whereas when you do a to-do list, you see all of the things that have to be done, and that could be stressful. That could be overwhelming, because when the mind sees so many things, it does not know where to focus and it loses focus. However, as you say, all I know is for today, I block time for 1, 2, and 3. So you give your mind things to focus on, and it becomes much easier to go on with the task. This also helps with releasing fear, by the way, okay? Because then you feel it's easy, it's possible. So block time in your calendar, not create to-do list. It's a trick. Try it out. It helps me a lot. But before blocking this time, there's one step before, which is creating goals, right? The mind, there's a system, it's called the reticular activating system. And that system helps you achieve your goals, basically. How it does that, it's by registering like a screenshot of your goal and making sure that everything that happens during your day and week is to support you in achieving this goal. How amazing is the mind? That's really a whole system that supports you in achieving your goals. So unless you make it so clear what the goal is, the mind is not going to be helpful. It's going to be so confused, right? So writing down maximum 3 goals. And you can start with the month, then the week, then the day. And that includes personal goals. If you run your own business, how I like to do it is I have business goals and I have personal goals. But also if you have a job, your business goals and your personal goals. And then from there, if my personal goals for this month is to, exercise more, which it is, and it is to relax a bit more because I've been... and to be more outgoing and sociable. These are my top 3 goals for the month. Then I'm gonna do, for this week, I'm gonna go on one outing with a friend. I'm gonna go twice to the gym, and I'm going to go for a massage. This really tackles my goals. Then I'm gonna block them in my calendar. I blocked Wednesday morning to see my friend. I blocked a few days already off, not days off, time off for gym and yoga, right? And I already booked my massage. It's no longer a to-do list, is it? It's no longer overwhelming. It's no longer stressful. It's booked. It's planned. All right? So start with your top goals, 3 to 5 goals, narrow them down, and then block time in your calendar. The few last things I want to say is to get support when you need it. And that includes get accountability. Someone who's going to say, did you do this? Right? Are you on track? Someone who's going to support you. But more importantly, for you to kind of get support outside. What I mean is if there's a task that you don't like doing, especially if you run your own business, this is where you're going to delegate to someone on the outside. And it's okay. It's fine. Right? This is where you're going to call someone and say, I need 1 hour of your time to sit and show me how to do this. I'm stuck. Delegate and automate is extremely important. Yeah, I think this is really kind of the main thing that I wanted to cover. If there's one thing that I want you to get out of this, guys, is change your language about time. Change how you talk, how you speak, how you think about time. Empower yourself to know that you are the creator of the time. Simplify the tasks so that it is not a to-do list, but it is blocks of priorities that are reflecting your priorities for your month, for your year, okay? And then always ask yourself, is this helping me move forward? Is this important? If it's not important for you, park it. If it's not urgent for you, park it. If it's completely not important, delegate it to someone else to do it. Or maybe delegate it for yourself in 2 months to do it, right? You don't need to do everything now. And then last but not least, release yourself from perfection, right? We are not perfect. This is a journey of growth. Don't let this overwhelm you. Enjoy the journey, enjoy the ride, and breathe. And breathe, because that gives you space, and it gives you, it allows you to feel time differently. feel time differently. I send you all so much love. Throughout the week, I'm going to be, just throwing a few tips, tools, and things that could support you. And I'm here if you have any questions. Have an amazing day, everybody. Thank you.